Good morning, everyone. My name is Lamont Gilchrist. www.L.G.FIT45.com is my web page. Go and check it out. Today is 6/6/17. And so I'm going to talk a little bit of evolution and science and how it should apply to training ideology. So let's look at Homo sapien human, and it becomes kind of difficult for some people when you think of religion and human existence as opposed to evolution in human existence. As scientists, what we do and what anyone should be able to do when searching for the truth is to break down something to the bare understanding, and it should hold water to represent the truth no matter wherever it is. So a lot of times when you're searching for the truth, it's hard to come to the truth because you have a predetermined ideology that has been placed inside you by many determining factors like TV, your parents, and other aspects and stuff like that. So I'm going to tell you my three. It's called my 3/4 rule of understanding of evolution, and never heard it said. So it's probably my individual understanding, just as I look at things outside of the scope of the way that humans view humans, and inside the scope of efficiency for survival and evolution in humans. So my 3/4 rule, and this is one of the rules that I use in my training, is that 3/4 of my body is used for movement, because I'm bipedal. Now if I evolve from fours or a primate that don't do that and don't have vertical efficiency so that they tire out, so that they use all fours, there's certain characteristics and certain things that's going to develop and make me a better species, or make me a dominant species. And so first we'll start with the legs, and we can throw the arms in there, kind of, but not totally. So with the legs, especially in bipedal movement, they are the foundation and the building block. They are the engine or the wheels that roll the car. So you have to understand the importance of that. So in existence, without legs, without these wheels, you will not survive, period, in nature or anything else. Any animal that travels with legs, once their legs become injured, or if they lose their legs, they're dead for the most part. So that is very important. But even more important is your back. So the back is part of the legs with the gluteus and all these other different muscles. It is a skeleton that wraps around with the spine, that has your central nervous system and your cerebral cortex that sends the signals for every other aspect of your limbs and your movement to fire off, to evaluate, to send back to the processor, which is your brain, which has bones around it. So if you look at us from a human standpoint, we're standing straight up. If we were four-legged creatures, we would be down, and our chest and our front section would be protected by our arms, our back, our legs, our gluteus maximus, and all these other things. And just looking at animal evolution and animals and how animals move, and human evolution, so the stronger important parts are the legs, the back, then you get into the shoulders and the arms and some other aspects. And then the more vulnerable parts that we try to protect, but we don't for the most part, but we do when we're fighting. The more vulnerable parts are the internal organs, the front area, the throat, and all these other things that will make us vulnerable, and that are hard to protect. That's why most animals are on fours and bent down and covering those things up with a skeletal wrap around that vulnerable part of their body. So when you take those things into account, in evolution, my 3/4 rule is the legs and the back going out to the arms, wrapping around, coming up like this, is the way that we become better functioning, more complete functioning human beings, training, getting into better shape, and being equipped for whatever environment or whatever task or whatever adversity that we have, that we're placed in. So if you take that into consideration, I see people doing 1,000 crunches, like to bench press, and try to stress their parts that they want to look actually good, which is going to look halfway decent, but those parts are only going to be as good, or the human existence or your shape or your evolutionary shape or your health is only going to be as good as this 3/4 part of your body is, and that's going to determine if we were not in this civilization, whether you survive or whether you become food or become vulnerable to prey or other aspects, or able to protect yourself. So if you take those things in evolution and science into consideration, then it can make you more efficient and proficient, and have a better understanding about how you should attack and how you should approach your health and your training regimen. Because truly, if we didn't have these buildings and all this other stuff, and we're back out into nature as a species we started at, those things would definitely be very important, and having good structure and understanding the importance of those things, we will be utilizing those things way more, or we will be extinct. So take that things into consideration. That's my 3/4 rule. Train your legs, train your back, out to your shoulders, out to your hands, so it wraps around your body. And this stuff right here will take care of itself. That's our most vulnerable spot, and it's hard because it's not built to be a dominant part of our body, because it would make us less efficient. So my name is Lamont Gilchrist. YHWHBlessings is my web page. For more information and get a better understanding of the 3/4 understanding of training, contact me on my website, or you can hit me up. Have a great day.